I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, October 20. Jamaica is seeking to deepen its partnership with the United States in key areas. These include transportation, water, broadband internet, and energy. Prime Minister Andrew Holness held talks recently with U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica Donald Tapia and Chief Executive Officer of the U.S. International Development Finance Corp. Adam Boehler and his delegation. Also in attendance were Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Energy Daryl Vaz, and Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Aubin Hill. Prime Minister Holness said the opportunities derived from the discussion should support Jamaica's drive towards economic prosperity and growth. Mr. Boehler, meanwhile, said the partnership reflected the strengthened relationship between both countries and a commitment to private sector development.
So we're here to look at investments, and all of us came together to amp up investment. So the relationship between the United States and Jamaica has never been stronger. We're going to up the level that much more.
Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson is reporting a reduction in major crimes between 10 and 20% over last year. Speaking at a recent virtual press conference, Major General Anderson said murders were down 1.9% and there were 1.7% fewer shootings than in the January to September corresponding period of 2019. The police commissioner said progress was being made under the states of public emergency to reduce the murder rate prior to their ending on August 17.
We had reached a position of 5.2% below last year. We have pretty much lost about 4% over the last 5 weeks, which is of great concern to us, but also I'm sure it's of great concern to the public. It's shown itself to be the tool that most quickly suppresses murder and shootings in the space where it's applied. So that has been shown. So it is important that we get it. We can see every time since we've implemented it that it has been removed, we start to see the spike again.
At the same time, the commissioner said of the more than 200 persons detained prior to the ending of the SOE, about 100 persons were charged and 140 were released. Major General Anderson said since their release, 57 of these persons had come to the attention of law enforcement. Of that number, 16 persons were suspected of murder since their release, while 9 were named as shooting suspects, of which 4 were rearrested and 5 were involved in robberies.
This information and intelligence we're getting, obviously, on all of them. We are moving to make the cases, to move to arresting them when they're at large, and bringing them back into custody as soon as possible.
With the increased use of electronic devices and online mediums, individuals and businesses are being encouraged to apply safe measures to protect sensitive information. The call comes from the Jamaica Cybersecurity Incident Response Team, JIS. Head of the Communication, Forensic and Cybercrime Division, Deputy Superintendent Warren Williams, says since the onset of COVID-19, there has been an increase in the number of cybercrime incidents.
We have seen a lot where people are using these digital devices for malicious communication. We have to be wary and careful of what we do online. And of course, the law is there and it has enough teeth at this point, and we believe the fines and punishment for breaching of the law should match the times and the offenses as they are uncovered.
Deputy Superintendent Williams says persons can be fined a minimum of $2 million or 2 years in prison for using electronic devices for malicious use. The maximum penalty is 20 years in prison or a fine of $20 million. Mr. Williams says between 2014 and 2018, over 2,800 cases were reported, with more than 1,000 being cleared. $6 million or 3 billion Jamaican dollars in losses to businesses were reported. Mr. Williams is therefore encouraging persons to report more incidents in order for the security personnel to have a true assessment of what's happening in this space as the country prepares to transition into a digital economy.
We believe that the law needs to be inclusive. A provision needs to be there as to force both public and private entities to report so that the police can look at trends, know how to prepare themselves to investigate and deal with these incidents.
The nation's leaders are hailing the resilience of Jamaicans, which they say has helped us cope with and minimize some of the impacts of COVID-19. This was highlighted in their address to the nation and also at the National Honors and Awards ceremony yesterday as we celebrated Heroes Day. The theme was celebrating a heritage of resilience and pride.
I must seize this moment to pay tribute to all Jamaicans for your heroic attitude during this COVID-19 pandemic. We have shown how strong and resilient we can be despite overwhelming challenges that face us daily.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness praised the frontline workers for their unwavering commitment to their duties.
We must also recognize our modern-day heroes and salute the country's frontline workers for the critical role they played as we unite to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, on behalf of a grateful nation, I say to them, thank you.
Leader of the opposition, Dr. Peter Phillips, shared similar sentiments.
Let us never forget that they do so at great personal risk and sacrifice. They show us what service above self and beyond the call of duty really means.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.